What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I'm Imani Murray, and this is my YouTube channel where I share social media tips and tricks to help brands and businesses improve their online presence. And today we are going to be continuing the social media series that we have going on my channel, and we're going to be talking about how you should and why you should be repurposing your content and the benefits to doing so. So if you don't already know, repurposing your content is a cheat code at this point. Whether you create YouTube videos, blog posts, podcasts, interviews, it's a cheat code that you need to be taking advantage of. So let's get into the benefits of repurposing your content. The first benefit, which is probably the most beneficial reason as to why you should be repurposing your content, is you get the most out of your content. You can turn a YouTube video into maybe 5 different reels and TikToks, maybe 3 posts on Pinterest, maybe 2 blog posts just from one piece of content, and vice versa. When you repurpose your content, you're really extending the shelf life of the content. So the second benefit to repurposing your content is you reach a new audience. Not everybody consumes content the same way. Some people may prefer videos over audio. Some people may prefer written blogs versus actually watching the content. Your Instagram and your Twitter followers may not read your posts on your blog or watch your YouTube videos, but if you repurpose your content into something that's shareable on Instagram and Twitter, they may tap in, they may pay attention, they may love your content on there. For me personally, I don't really care for just audio podcasts. I love visuals, so I prefer to actually watch podcasts, I prefer visual podcasts, I should say. Some people may prefer just audio. That's why some people really enjoy Clubhouse versus just watching it on YouTube. By only creating written content on one type of content, you may be missing out on a completely new audience. You may be missing out on a large group of people, like I said, who may prefer a different type of content. So this is why it's important that you need to know who your audience is on every platform that you're sharing your content. The third reason why you should be repurposing your content is because it saves you time. There's no more having to sit there and brainstorm about what you're going to create, what you're going to talk about. It's already there. The content is already made. All you have to do is just pull from the already made content, and boom, you got a whole new post that you can share on whatever platform you're focusing on. You're just giving your content new life. You're just repackaging it and sharing it somewhere else. So let's get into how you can actually repurpose your content, starting with YouTube. You can turn your YouTube videos into reels, into TikToks, into blog posts, into Pinterest posts, into an ebook, into Instagram guides, IGTVs, mini clips on Twitter. There's so many different ways you can, even a webinar, there's so many different ways you can turn your YouTube or even longer form content into. So for example, for me, I love repurposing my YouTube videos, starting with my Aruba travel blog. I went to Aruba 2 years ago, and my travel blog got a few thousand views on YouTube. I then turned my travel blog into a reel, into TikTok, and eventually I will turn it into a guide and a blog post. So how did I do that? So I took 15 seconds of the most interesting parts of my vlog, turned into a reel when reels first became a thing on Instagram, and then I did it again, added different content in the second reel, which was now 30 seconds when Instagram extended reels to 30 seconds. And then from there, I made another reel which focused more on the top things to do in Aruba, right? I did that into a reel and a TikTok. On TikTok, I got about 50,000 views in the first 24 hours. Started out from a YouTube video. I made 3 reels from that. A 15-second one, a 30-second one, and then another 30-second one. The first two reels were just a recap of the trip, the most memorable moments. The last reel was all about things to do in Aruba, and like I said, I also turned that into a TikTok, and then when I get the time, I'm going to turn that into a guide on Instagram. I also made it a post and a board on Pinterest. It lives on so many different platforms at this point. And then when I start my blog, I will also turn it into a blog post. So it lives on 4 platforms at this point. just from one 20-minute YouTube video. It's on 4 different platforms, reaching so many different people, right? Now, on the other hand, I did an informational video on what you need to have before hiring a publicist. Another video on my YouTube channel. That was less than a year ago. So from that video, I turned it into a carousel post. I took the main points from that video, turned it into a carousel post on Instagram, and it became shareable content. And then I turned it into a reel and a TikTok, right? And then I also turned it into a Pinterest post. So you're able to really just take one piece of content and turn it into multiple different types of content. So a YouTube video, I turned it into a carousel post. So if you don't know what a carousel post is, it's a swipe on Instagram. Most people use carousel posts for information, for really just to share information. So YouTube video, carousel, shareable post on Instagram, a Pinterest post, which ties back to my YouTube video, and then a TikTok and a reel. The TikTok and the reel was actually a funnier play on the video, but it still shared the same information. So that's really just repurposing the content just in a different format. Some people may not have cared to watch that video, but because I shared it as a TikTok and a reel, they were like, okay, let me go see what else she shared in this video. Because you want to, the key point in repurposing your content, you want to make sure you tie it back to the original content. So say you have a blog post and you share informational or step-by-step information, right? Or you share instructional information. You can turn your blog post into a YouTube video, whether it's you on camera, an animated video, or a text-based video. And then you can turn it into a Pinterest post, because if you aren't on Pinterest and you have a blog, you're really missing out, because Pinterest should be your best friend when it comes to your blog. And then you can turn your blog post once again into a post on Instagram, whether it's a guide and or a reel, and you can turn it into an IGTV. And then from there you can turn it into a TikTok, you can turn it into an ebook, you can turn it into a webinar. This, like I said before, there's so many different ways you can repurpose your content. Same thing for podcasts. If you have a podcast, you can pull quotes from your episode and tweet them out and then link it back to your video. You can turn the quote into a post on Instagram. You can turn maybe not just a quote, but actually a snippet from the podcast, and so on and so forth. So podcasts, you can do YouTube, you can do TikTok, you can do Instagram Reels, you can do IGTV, you can do a post that maybe has the person's picture on it and do audio waves, and you tie it back to your actual podcast episode or whatever kind of interview you're doing. Or maybe you did a live, an Instagram live, and you pull a piece from your live onto maybe a reel or a TikTok or maybe even Twitter. There's so many ways that you need to really start figuring out how to repurpose your content, especially if there's older content that you've created and there may be a trending topic that ties into this content. Hello, perfect time to bring it back and give it new life. That's exactly what I did when it came to my Aruba video. When it was announced that Aruba was open for people to start traveling again, that was exactly when I posted my TikTok. And people ate it right up. And that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you're at least trying to tap into or at least trying to tie into a trending moment. Because then you're doing a double cheat code, honestly. So with Instagram, there's so many different ways you can repurpose your content, whether it's Reels, whether it's Instagram guides, IGTV, or you are doing a carousel post, or just maybe one post you want to do. That's just Instagram. And then you have TikTok, and then you have Pinterest. Pinterest, you can create you can create 5 different pins at least from just one link, just from one piece of content. And that's just by changing your cover pin. That's just by changing your pin, by changing the picture that you use, changing the graphic, You can tie it all back into one link. So that's repurposing your content. You can repurpose it by you doing an ebook. People love ebooks or webinars, and then you put them on your website. So not only are you bringing the traffic back to the content, but you're also bringing it back to your website. Start repurposing your content. And of course, if you're looking maybe where can I actually create graphics or quick graphics to repurpose my content, whether you're doing a Pinterest pin or you're looking for Instagram carousel posts or any of the above, or a reel cover, anything like that, you can go ahead and use Canva, Adobe Spark, Photoshop. Oh, and also Over. How many times have I said repurpose your content in this video? So it saves you time, you reach a new audience, and you're giving it new life. You're getting the most out of your content. Let's start repurposing your content. Thank you for watching. As always, you can follow me at It's Imani Murray on all social media platforms, and I will see you in my